Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Skull and Bones and we're going to be doing another ship guide. This time it's going to be for the Snow class ship, the Vanguard. Probably my favorite ship out of all of them in the game. It's hard for me to say. I use a lot of them, like I switch back and forth, especially when I'm trying out a new build, but overall I think I like this one better than all the rest. I definitely like how it looks better than the rest of them, but I also might like how it performs the best. But with all that being said, let's dive on in. So if you haven't seen one of these videos before, I'm going to go over a number of things. I'll show you where to get the schematic to build the ship, how much that costs, how many materials you need, and where to get all those materials, and then we'll go over the strengths, weaknesses, and general stats of the ship, and I'll end it with a recommendation for the best weapons to use for the ship, considering all of those strengths and weaknesses and perks of this specific ship. So let's just start it off with the schematic. And so if we're starting from Telek Panjara for this one, which makes sense to me, considering that, you will be here if you're at the stage in this game where realistically you should be trying to build this ship. So if you start from here, we're going to be going up north of the island that Telek Panjara is on, all the way up to this fast travel point in the Baruch Sea here. It's up here. It's called Kamoy Estate. So you can see where we are in relation. That's where you're headed. So let's head there. Once you are on the beach at Kamoy Estate, you're going to be looking for the store here. And so it will be over to this right side of the beach, way in the back, the Shipwrecked Rogue. We'll want to go into this inventory. He will have a number of useful blueprints, but the one we're looking for is for the snow. So this one costs 10,560 silver. So it's not crazy cheap, but it's also not ridiculously expensive considering how good this ship is. So you'll purchase it from him, and then the materials will be somewhat more complex than all of the ones we've gotten so far, but nothing too crazy. The total materials you're going to need are going to be 12 juniper planks, 12 zinc ingots, 12 fine abaca, 13 ironwood planks, 12 steel ingots, 2 sheet glass, and 2 screw mechanisms. So you can see we're using 2 different types of metal, 2 different types of wood, and then we're going to have some specialized materials as well as our cloth. So just starting off right at the top with the juniper planks. This is something that we're going to be heading a little bit south of where we are. So if we're all the way up here, we're going to be going all the way down here. So the Lar West Lumber Yard is located in the Trisula Coast region, kind of close to the Spice Islands. This is where you can go if you want to loot a bunch of juniper planks from the location where they are made. Otherwise, as is usually the case, all you have to do is cut down the trees yourself. So if we're at that location already, in that general area, you're going to see a lot of these juniper nodes where you can cut down plenty of juniper wood. And you can see it's all over the islands over here. It is the type of wood that grows in this area. So all over here, these islands, that's where you get juniper. So again, here's Telek Panjara. We're going to be going south of there, not to this island, because this one is mostly going to have ironwood. It's going to be south of there. That's where we're going to find juniper. So that's our first material. The second one is going to be zinc ingots. So zinc is going to be a little bit south of where we are there. So if you came here to get your juniper, we're going to be going down a little bit south here to this section here. And there are a number of foundries in this area, but most importantly, you have all of these zinc deposits. So this little icon on the map will showcase your zinc. You can see there is an awful lot of it in this entire region. So plenty of nodes for that all around here. And in fact, they go up onto this island a bit. So plenty of zinc in this area. In fact, just if you go to the Necropolis outpost and just sail around these islands here, right around the Necropolis, you'll be able to find yourself plenty of zinc. So again, here's the Necropolis. Zooming out. Telek Panjara is up here. Necropolis is down here. Go around there. Plenty of zinc in that general location. So once you've gotten either mined the zinc and refined it or gotten the ingots, you'll have enough zinc. Now moving on to the abaca. That's the type of cloth we need for this ship. Abaca can be gotten over here in the Kongang Coast and Delta of Mi region. So the South Sunni Weaver is one that you can loot and get yourself plenty of fine abaca. Otherwise, you just harvest it in this area. And so you can see it's this little kind of looks like a corn stalk or maybe sugar cane. That is the symbol on the map for abaca. And so you'll find plenty of it along the inside of this inlet and all the way up this river. So this general region is where you're going to get your hands on abaca. So again, here's Telek Panjara. That's right over here to the northeast. So that's where you get that. For ironwood planks, we've covered this in previous videos, and I've already showed you a bit here, but there's a Kenker lumberyard here, the Subar lumberyard here. Those are both ironwood lumberyards, so you can loot either of them and get plenty. Otherwise, all along the coast, right next to Telek Panjara, you'll find plenty of ironwood trees. Steel ingots are the same thing. They're going to be all around the Telek Panjara region. There's a bunch of foundries, like the South Damai Foundry, the North Damai Foundry, the Kota Lama Foundry. All of those are going to be steel refineries where you can get plenty of ingots. Otherwise, mine any of these pure iron nodes in the Telek Punjara region, and you will be able to get all of your steel ingots. So that's all of your basic materials. The sheet glass and screw mechanisms are going to be things that you loot from Dutch ships. So if you start from Telek Punjara, the entire Strait of Haramur, the Mason Strait, the Naga Sea, all of this is loaded with Dutch ships. You're going to want to look all over any of these for merchants because they're easier to take on, and you'll be able to get sheet glass from some of them. That one's definitely more rare, and screw mechanisms from lots of them. That's a relatively common loot. If you don't want to look for ships and do it, and you want to do something slightly more reliable, you can get screw mechanisms by raiding Dutch forts. So that's obviously a much higher level option. That's why I wouldn't do it. I would just look for ships. But that's one way to do it. Honestly, like I said, just go for the ships. It's the easy way to go. Dutch ships in the area, specifically merchants, because they're easier to take out all over the place here. I know people are like, get more specific. I don't need to get more specific. If you want to be more specific, go to the ruined lighthouse and you do a little circle right here around this little region here. Plenty of ships in that region. You can do a big circle, and by the time you get back, they'll be respawned. Plenty of resources from them. So that is where you get those. Like I said, sheet glass and screw mechanisms can both be gotten from Dutch ships, and that's pretty much the only place where you can reliably get them. You might find them as loot anywhere else, but this is where you'll get them most frequently. Once you've gotten all those materials, you're going to be headed back to Telek Punjara to craft the ship. So at Telek Punjara, just in case you've never done this before, if you want to craft the ship, you go straight down the dock. You're going to be turning left. We're going to be going up towards the crafters section over here, and when you do, it'll be the second shop on the left, right past the carpenter. So you'll see the shipwright is right there. We'll go up to the shipwright. We will craft new items, and it will be the 7th ship. It's called the Vanguard. It is a snow class. So this one, it says you can see it's a medium class. So again, it fits that category of medium ship that we need to do certain missions in the game. It says a ship with increased durability and holding its ground in a fight. It specializes in bracing against incoming fire. So this is another one that braces really well. This is a tank class. It's one of the reasons I like it, because it's a very survivable ship. Specialized in bracing against incoming damage, the tank excels in defense. Perks of the ship are tenacity, recovers brace strength by 4% per second while bracing, increases brace strength by 50%, and brace strength recovery by 150%. So you can tell this one is great for bracing, something that I know a lot of people don't do as much as they should. It's good for all ships, but if you do it in the Vanguard, because it's a tank class and we have that tenacity perk, it makes you pretty much invincible to damage as long as you've got the stamina for it. So this one is a base ship rank of 5, hull health of 50,000, brace strength of 25,000, so that brings us up to 75,000 if we're bracing, which makes it very, very strong. Speed of 10 knots, which is very respectable. Trimming speed of 13 knots, which definitely is slower than our fastest ship that you can get in the game, but still pretty dang quick. You can go along at a decent clip there. Another advantage, 80,000 cargo. That's plenty of cargo space. Stamina of 100. This one has a full weapon loadout, so we have bow, stern, broadside weapons, as well as an auxiliary weapon, and we have 4 furniture slots, so you can customize it quite a bit. So it's basically just a tankier, upgraded version of the Padawaking. So I really like the ship. I love the way it looks. I love the way it performs. Really, really good all around. Since it's a tank, obviously, I like to use it as more of a general purpose ship, and that's how I recommend loading it out. So since this ship isn't DPS, you can go 2 ways. You can just customize it with whatever the best weapons you like are, or what you have the most ammo for, or if you do it like I do, like I said, to go for the best, most versatile general purpose loadout possible. So obviously, one thing you want to focus on is the best armor possible, and so in order, we've got the Black Prince, the Gamma Kobe 2, the Ouroboros, the Bastion 3, and the Iron Husk 5 armor. All of those are top tier armor. They're going to be super good on this ship, give you a ton of survivability, make you very, very durable. If you can't do any of those, then whatever the best one you can is what you're going to want to go with, because that's just how armor works in this game. For our weapons on this one, there are 2 different loadouts that you could go with. Now, one of them is just slightly more general purpose than the other. The other one really plays into the strengths of this ship, so I'll go with the strengths one first. For that one, our broadsides, you're going to want a Cullivan weapon, and now any of the basic ones is going to be good. The Cullivan 5 is going to be the best for that. Otherwise, your enhanced Cullivans. Since it's general purpose and we're not going for one specific damage type, it'll depend on your tactics. If you like that pure damage, you just want to sink the ship quickly and get it over with, then the Basilisk is going to be the best way to go. If you like being able to slow down your enemy to control them a little bit better, the Tearing Cullivan is the next best option. So those are your broadside weapon. Following on with our specialized build for this one, our bow weapon, we're going to want long guns because they are nice and accurate. They'll allow us to snipe. They give us nice long range and obviously high damage. There's lots of ways to go. Skurlock's Chasers are a great option. Skurlock's Long Nines are an even better option just because they deal significantly more damage. Otherwise, the Fire Long Gun 3, those are all good because they deal a lot of damage. They're very, very accurate. The best possible one that you can go with is Skurlock's Long Nines if you've got them. That's your bow gun for the specialized build. For your stern gun or the back, we're going to want to do a torpedo, and so there's a lot of ways to go here. We have Rama's Legacy, which is probably the best option. Rama's Ambition is also quite good. It just obviously does a lot less damage. Otherwise, the Chalet torpedoes are great, or the standard torpedo 3 is going to be great. Whatever you want to use or whatever you can use, just go for the highest damage possible because that's what we're looking for with this build. Then finally, for our specialized build, we want rockets for our auxiliary weapon. So either the Rocket 3 or the Termites 3. Either one of those. They deal a ton of damage if you use them effectively. They can be used extremely accurately against buildings, and if you get used to it, they can be very effective against ships. Either way, great weapons. Really works well for this build. Now for the more general build, the one that I arguably use on this ship more frequently, I do like to use a culverin on the sides, and so if I have the Basilisk 3, that's what I like to use. Otherwise, what I think I currently have equipped on there is 2 sets of Terran culverin 3s. Whatever the case is, I like the culverins for our broadside weapons on the ship. Then for our front and back, or your bow and your stern weapons, bombards. I'm all about bombards with the ship. They're so versatile. They work really well with it. So obviously, if all you've got is a standard, use the best one possible. The Dardanelles gun is excellent. It does extremely high damage. Otherwise, you can never go wrong with the Fire Bombard 3. We get that extra burn damage. We got the explosive damage. It's got incredible overall damage. Reload speed is nice and fast. Got really good range. Excellent weapons for front and back. That's, like I said, arguably, I use that significantly more than the more specialized build, just because I find the culverins and bombards make you so effective as a mid-range tank. And same thing goes for our auxiliary weapon. If we're going on that more general purpose tank instead of our, real specialized build that we were talking about at first, I like having a mortar instead. So the Mortar 3, the Leopold 3, either one of those is going to be excellent for this one. Perfect. I love them all the way downtown. So that is your 2 different builds that I like using for the snow. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, this one is a medium range tank. It's excellent for that. It's a general purpose pirate ship. It's why I like using it so much in this game. It's not the fastest ship in the game. It's not the tankiest ship in the game. It is extremely good at being right in the middle. So you can use it extremely effectively to deal a lot of damage, but you can also take a ton of it. So if you don't have an extremely mobile playstyle, like you might want to with a faster, more agile ship, this one is great. If you're playing as a team, it makes a great center of your fleet because with that brace strength, especially with the best armor in the game, you have an incredibly durable ship. So that is it for the snow. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.